What's happening, my Jack family? Coach Scott here, jackedafter40.com. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing 9 must-do single leg exercises to get jacked after 40, and there's 5 big reasons that make these 9 single leg exercises a must-do for us men over 40. Reason number 1 is these single leg exercises are crucial for fully developing your legs. Reason being is that these single leg exercises work the smaller muscles of your thighs and glutes in a way that can't be done when performing exercises that train both legs at the same time. So basically, if you're not doing these single leg exercises, you are leaving leg gains on the table. Reason number 2 is that these single leg exercises can help correct muscle imbalances and weaknesses. The reason that's important to us men over 40 is that muscle imbalances and weaknesses can lead to injury. So these single leg exercises are going to help you become aware of any muscle imbalance and weakness and help you correct them so you can prevent injuries from happening. Reason number 3 is that these single leg exercises can help improve coordination, balance, and stability. And for us men over 40, improving our stability of the ankles, knees, and hips is incredibly important, once again, for reducing our risk of injury and just building a solid, strong foundation to work upon. Reason number 4 is these single leg exercises will give our spine and back a break from lifting those heavy loads. And for us men over 40, lifting those heavy loads over time can definitely take a toll on us. So this break will be a welcome change for many of us. And reason number 5 is that these single leg exercises will enhance your mind-muscle connection with your leg muscles. It's also going to improve your focus during your workouts, because if you're performing these single leg exercises while you're distracted, it's going to become very challenging to execute them to the best of your ability. So now let's get to those 9 must-do single leg exercises along with some variations that you can perform. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. More than anything, would love to hear from you down in the comment section below. The first exercise is a single leg Romanian deadlift. We're going to go over 3 variations here. The first one being using a resistance band. You're going to step on the band with one foot and with your opposite hand grab the other end of the band, and you want to create some tension on the band there. It's going to help with balance as well as resistance to make this exercise a little more challenging. What you want to focus on here is driving your hips back. You want to have soft knees on that leg that's planted on the ground. So you don't want to be thinking of bending your knees as you're driving your hips back, but you want those knees to be soft, so it's just naturally going to bend as you're reaching back. You want to really make sure you're feeling this in the hamstring and the glutes, and you want to really be aware of where you're feeling the distribution of your weight. Now, for myself, when I first started performing these single leg movements, I noticed that my left leg, I felt very well balanced. My right leg, I found that I leaned, most of my weight was shifting towards the outer aspect of my leg. So I was kind of rolling on my foot a little bit outwards. And so I was feeling a lot more tension in the outer aspect of my thigh. The tensor fasciae lata up in the upper hip area, the outer glute aspect, and then my inner thigh was feeling very weak. It just wasn't engaging. So once I started incorporating these single leg Romanian deadlifts into my training, I began to really focus on shifting my weight a little bit more inwards. So it all started with the feet. So really making sure that my weight, I wasn't kind of rolling over on my ankle. I was keeping my weight shifted inwards, engaging kind of the inner aspect of my thigh there, and just focusing on balance. It took a lot of focus. It took really controlling the movement, going slow and steady. Again, starting with that resistance band, graduating to the dumbbells, and then the barbell as well. The second exercise is the Bulgarian split squat. You can do this body weight, using dumbbells, using a barbell. I would definitely wait until you do it with body weight and dumbbell before putting a barbell on your back, just for safety purposes. But this is another one where you can really, again, it pays to have that strong mind-muscle connection and becoming aware of what's the difference between each legs. Man, I'm telling you, this is getting jacked after 40. It's all about that mind-muscle connection, just training with purpose, training with passion, training to develop a balanced, healthy physique. It's not just about packing on muscle. It's about building muscle that's I guess I hate to use that word, functional, but it has purpose in your life. It's going to serve you the best. Exercise number 3 is the step up. You can do this on a bench. You can have fun getting outdoors. I did mine on my break wall one day, which was an experience in itself. Bottom line, you want to try to keep your weight shifted forward. Your knee, it's okay for your knee to travel a little bit over your toe, but you want to keep a lot of your weight over your hips there. The great thing about this exercise is it stretches out the glutes really well too. So that leg that's up on the bench is going to get a great stretch. I highly recommend really trying to control that negative. As you're lowering yourself down, try to really control that eccentric portion of the movement. It's gonna pay huge dividends. Just try to notice how I'm trying to go straight up and down. I'm not rocking back. I don't come down on the ground, allow my body weight to shift backwards, and then lunge forward as I shift my body weight up. I try to get myself up and down in a nice, straight, smooth motion that allows me to get that great stretch in the glutes and just keeps tension on the muscles the entire time. I try the best I can to not push off that bottom foot as much as possible. I try to use that leg that's up on the step or bench the most and use as little momentum out of the bottom as possible, really making sure that I'm engaging the thigh muscles in that leg that's on the bench. The thighs and the glutes are all going to get activated as I'm lunging forward, upwards. Exercise number 4 is the single leg glute bridge. All the action is taking place going through the hips here. You shouldn't be getting your lower back involved at all. So drive your hips up as high as you can without exaggerating the movement by arching your lower back. I recommend that you don't touch down in the bottom portion of this movement, so no resting in the bottom. Try to keep constant tension on your hamstrings and glutes. And in the top range of the motion, really focus on driving your foot down hard into the floor while contracting your glutes and hamstrings as hard as you can for a good couple seconds there. You can also perform this exercise with one foot up on the couch, chair, bench. It just kind of amplifies the feel of this movement. Makes it a little bit more challenging, a little bit more balance involved there. Exercise number 5 is the single leg hip thrust. You can either do this off your couch at home or off a bench. Same idea, everything taking place through the hips. You're going to allow your hips to drop down towards the floor. It doesn't have to be an exaggerated drop. You don't have to get down too crazy low, but make sure you're driving through the hips and not exaggerating the movement by arching your lower back. Once again, driving your foot in hard into the floor, squeezing, contracting the glutes as hard as you can once you're in the top, as well as the hamstrings. And while you're pushing your foot down hard into the floor, if you want to try to pretend like you're scraping gum off the bottom of your shoe by driving your heel in towards the glutes, that can intensify that contraction as well. Once again, paying attention to the differences between each leg and how you're shifting your weight on your foot. Exercise number 6 is the single leg adduction, working the inner thigh. We got 2 different variations here. First one, using a resistance band, so walking away from the pole. So make sure that you get there's still some tension on your inner thighs in that stretch position before you bring that band and your leg across your body there. I want you to really make sure that you are engaging that inner thigh, really feeling that muscle contract, and then bring that band across your thigh. Again, a brief little squeeze, contraction there. Just don't go back and forth like crazy. It's all about enhancing your mind-muscle connection. The second variation is on a couch. So if you don't have a resistance band, you can kind of get in a side plank position, have your one foot up on the couch, and drop your hips and then raise your hips. You're gonna have that inner thigh doing a lot of work. This is a fantastic variation that I find is very, very effective, especially for myself. As I mentioned, that my right leg, the inner thigh muscles seem to be weaker there. The outer thigh muscles seem to be dominant. So for my right leg, what I'm doing to correct that muscle imbalance, not only doing the single leg exercises that I've recommended up to this point, but I will be avoiding the outer thigh exercise for that right leg and doing more inner thigh work with these 2 exercises here for the adduction. Exercise number 7 is single leg abduction, so working the outer thigh here. Once again, 2 different variations. First one using the resistance band, same idea, stepping away from the pole, making sure that you're getting constant tension throughout that whole range of motion. A little bit tougher with the resistance band because you want to make sure there's not too much resistance where you can't get that full range of motion with your thigh extending all the way out there, but you don't want there to be like no tension in the bottom of the movement. And once again, really making sure that the mind-muscle connection is strong here. Don't just go through the motions. You may also find that the leg that's planted on the ground is going to get some work done there as well. So just to stabilize yourself and plant yourself, that those muscles are going to be working as well. So great stabilization going on there. And then once again, you can get on the couch using your body weight. Exercise number 8 is a single leg extension. You can do this with a traditional leg extension machine, just using one leg at a time. If you belong to a gym that has a hammer strength or a machine that allows you to work one leg at a time, bonus. That is even better. It is incredibly effective, and you will be shocked at the difference of where each leg, kind of where you focus your distribution on. And once again, for myself, I noticed with that leg extension, a lot of the tension was going outwards. So I really shifted my focus more towards that teardrop, the vastus medialis there, and one of the quadricep muscles there, the heads of the quadricep. And man, what a difference. Also notice like it's very easy to feel it more in the upper hip area if I'm not kind of pulling myself down and not really focused with my right leg. It just seems effortless with my left leg, not so much with my right leg. So really helps to have that strong mind-muscle connection. If you don't have access to a gym or any of these equipments and you have a resistance band at home, it is fantastic as well. I'd recommend kind of wearing shoes or some sort of boot, or if you have any kind of attachment that can prevent that band from slipping up your shin. Some people have complained of that. The band that I have here worked very, very well, wasn't slipping up my shin. And exercise number 9 is the single leg curl. You can perform this on any leg curl machine. If you have access to a single leg curl machine at your gym, bonus. It is huge, especially the stand-up variation. I freaking love that piece of equipment. Just the mind-muscle connection is incredibly strong. It's just a good fluid movement there. If you don't have access to a gym right now, but you do have resistance bands at home, you can do this variation. I find is incredibly effective, just making sure you are far enough away. When I did it in the house, I had to have a mat down on the ground. If you have carpeted flooring, that works just as well. Just to make sure that it's not, the weight's not good, the band's not gonna pull you forward. You wanna make sure that you are locked in place there. But I find this to be an incredibly effective exercise for the hamstrings. I find this way more effective than the leg extension variation. Leg curls with a resistance band are challenging. You are gonna feel your hamstrings want to cramp up in that peak contracted state. Once again, paying attention to how those muscles are contracting, and once again, holding that contraction for a brief pause, just to, again, become aware of how you are contracting those hamstring muscles. And that's your 9 must-do single leg exercises to get jacked after 40. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. More than anything, I would love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your feedback. I can't wait to hear from you. I reply to every comment that I receive. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Hope you have yourself an absolutely amazing day. I'll catch you in the next video.